How do you face people who abuse their power, bosses who belittle, politicians who manipulate, or relatives who never stop controlling? What if the secret to staying calm wasn't fighting back with anger, but standing so steady that no one could shake you? And what if one of the most powerful men in history, Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, left us a guide on how he himself dealt with toxic people in power? Welcome to Stoic Blend, where ancient wisdom meets modern life. Today, we'll explore how Marcus Aurelius dealt with toxic people in power, and how his lessons can help you stand tall in a world that often feels overwhelming. Part 1. The reality of toxic power. We all know the feeling. Walking into a workplace where your manager rules through fear, where credit is stolen, and criticism is constant. Or maybe it's a family member who manipulates every decision and guilt trips you when you resist. In America today, surveys show workplace stress is one of the leading causes of burnout, and often, it comes from people in positions of authority. Marcus Aurelius faced this too. As emperor, he dealt daily with senators hungry for influence, generals plotting for recognition, and courtiers whispering lies. Yet instead of being consumed by rage, he reminded himself, the fault is theirs, but the harm is mine if I let it. He understood that the real power lies not in controlling others, but in controlling your own mind. Part 2. Understanding human nature. When Marcus wrote Meditations, he often reminded himself of one fact. Toxic people behave as they do because they don't know better. Just as a doctor doesn't get angry at a patient for being sick, a Stoic doesn't get consumed by resentment towards someone acting unjustly. Think about your own life. When a coworker sends a passive-aggressive email, or a family member refuses to respect your boundaries, your first instinct might be to lash back. But Marcus saw this as an opportunity. He dealt with toxic people by reframing their behavior, not as a personal attack, but as a reflection of their ignorance, fear, or weakness. That shift creates emotional distance. It keeps you from being dragged into their storm. Part 3. Mastery of emotion. How did Marcus keep his composure? By practicing the art of pause. In Stoicism, there's the discipline of assent, the choice to accept or reject the first impression that hits your mind. Imagine getting a text from your boss late at night, full of criticism. Your chest tightens, your anger flares. That's the impression. But the Stoic pause allows you to say, I don't have to believe this. I can choose my response. This is how Marcus Aurelius dealt with toxic people in power, not by suppressing his feelings, but by mastering them. He taught himself to respond, not react. In modern life, this could look like waiting before replying to that email, taking a walk before confronting your partner, or practicing slow breathing when traffic jams test your patience. Part 4. Setting boundaries without hatred. Stoicism does not mean being passive. Marcus defended Rome from invasions, enforced justice, and removed corrupt officials. But he did it without hatred. In his words, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. At work, this might mean documenting unfair treatment, rather than engaging in shouting matches. In family life, it might mean calmly saying no, without guilt, even when others try to manipulate you. Online, it might mean refusing to feed trolls with your energy. By setting boundaries firmly, you protect yourself without becoming toxic in return. Marcus shows us that dealing with toxic people doesn't mean tolerating abuse. It means choosing justice over vengeance, clarity over chaos. Part 5. Holding on to inner freedom. Perhaps the most important lesson Marcus left us is this. No matter how much power someone has, they cannot rule your inner life unless you hand it over. He often reminded himself, You have power over your mind, not outside events. Think of financial pressures, political debates, or the endless noise of social media. So much is out of your control. But like Marcus, you can decide what occupies your attention. You can choose what values guide you. In the end, this is how he dealt with toxic people, by refusing to let them dictate his soul. And this is how you can deal with them too. Marcus Aurelius lived surrounded by ambition, envy, and manipulation, yet he held on to serenity. He showed that dealing with toxic people in power is not about crushing them, but about refusing to let them crush you. Remember, understand their nature. Master your emotions, set firm boundaries, and guard your inner freedom. If this message resonates with you, like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to Stoic Blend for more timeless wisdom. And now, let me ask you, what's one way you've dealt with toxic people in your own life? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments.